What's going on, everybody? The whole purpose of this video is just to show to you guys the process I use to end up with the wife that I have today. So just in case if you were wondering and looking at the title, no, this video is not about white girls. Even though, let it be known right now, I'm not against interracial dating, but that's not what this video is about. Now, the whole reason why I even called this Project Snowflake, because what's one characteristic that's true about snowflakes? That there's no two that are the same, or that if it is, it's very, very, very rare. So I took the same approach when it came to dating females. In order to not end up with the same type of female over and over, I had to compose a list to make sure that I never ended up with dating the same type of female twice. I did two things when I ended up building this list. The first thing I did is anything that when I dated a female that was a good quality, I kept it. And then number two, anything that I didn't like, that got on my nerves or I had zero tolerance for, got rid of it. I was not going to put up with it. I was not going to deal with it. Like, for example, if you're a female that when you get mad, you like to swing and throw punches, I don't believe in hitting females, but I don't believe females should be hitting guys either. So that's for me zero tolerance. You like to hit, that's it. There's no callbacks, no do-overs, no nothing. You hit me once, we're done. Because I never want to be put in a situation where I feel like I have to retaliate or put my hands on a woman, so I don't want to deal with a woman that's going to put her hands on me. In a previous video, Ghost of Girlfriends Past, I talked about how 4 females made an impact on my life. But looking back over the video even myself, I didn't really go into too much detail about how each one made an impact. Ariana taught me how to take a hint. So then when I wasn't getting no calls back after leaving messages, or if I called certain times, sometimes she would answer, sometimes she wouldn't. It just let me know, hey man, she's just not that into you anymore. So even when I was tempted to try to call, blow up her phone, or find out what was going on, or just walk to her house unannounced, I said, you know what, I wasn't going to do that. I could take a hint, it is what it is, and just to continue to move forward. Kiana taught me never date a girl just for the sole purpose of sex. Because let's be honest, that's the only thing I really wanted from her and I was going after. But all the things that, you know, just going through, putting up with, and it really wasn't nothing that serious. And it was really never a serious relationship. It was more so like there was a guy on the side that had her heart, and then I was just the guy just to be the dummy, to have fun with it, you know. Pay her way to the movies, take her out to eat, you know, to wine her, dine her, or whatnot, while her heart belonged to someone else, like I mentioned in my other video. Had I approached it differently, instead of going after just for sex, and instead, you know, be like, you know what, let's just chill, have fun, hey, maybe build a friendship out of this, and go from there, things probably would have turned out a little bit differently. Then again, maybe not. We could have just maybe ended up as good friends. It just taught me, don't chase after females just to try to get some, or just for sex. Because had I got it, and let's say a relationship or a child would have came out of that, who knows what would have happened from there. It probably wouldn't have been the best relationship. We probably wouldn't have been friends, or we probably would have dealt with more than what we would have bargained for, having to deal with one another. With Tanisha, that relationship just taught me that just because you have a past with somebody doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a future with this person. Because sometimes I notice when I look at people in their relationships, they think that just because I done spent all these years with this person, I got to stick with them and make it work. If you're not married, or you don't have any kids, if it's not going in the right direction, if the relationship's not going the way that you wanted to go, and you don't feel like you are connected, walk away. Especially before you end up now putting a child in the middle of a situation that they ain't asked to be brought into in the first place. And finally with Eve, I learned 3 things. The first thing I learned, don't date a girl that's an only child, don't date virgins anymore, and finally, don't lie. Because when I used to lie about dumb stuff. As far as all these 40 relationships, I never cheated. But I used to lie about dumb things. Like, for example, this girl never wanted to get off the phone. And I couldn't just say, you know what, I'm tired of talking on the phone, I want to get off. So you remember the old phones, if somebody called you on call waiting while somebody was talking, you would hear a brief pause. Well, I had a mute button on my phone that would simulate that same noise. So I would push the mute button, click over, and then I would click back over and say, oh man, you know what? That's my aunt calling. She wants to speak to my dad. I'll call you once they get off the phone. Because that was the only thing I could do to get off the phone. And I lied about some other dumb stuff too, but what it taught me was, fellas, or anybody that's in a relationship, it's better to tell the truth and deal with the consequences than to lie, get caught. Now, not only do you have to deal with the consequences of lying, but then deal with the consequences of what you lied about. Now, mind you, in building this list, I know it was twofold. So all these things that I was asking for, I was well aware of what I was bringing to the table as well. And I wrote the list in such a way it leaves room for us to be able to grow together, but at the same time that neither one of us have to deal with no foolishness and coming to the table. Now, at the end of this video, I actually have a copy of the list, totally authentic. I never changed it even to this day, not even the correct spelling. So please take it easy on me when you see it. And making this list, not only did I look for what I wanted in a wife, but I also knew the qualities and what I was bringing to the table. Because one thing that my mother and my father did point out is that if you want a good spouse or getting into a relationship, you got to know what you're bringing to the table as well as what you're just asking for. Well, I couldn't ask for a woman to have a job, and I don't. I mean, it just don't make no sense unless I'm hunting for one or I'm putting myself in a position to get one. But if I'm just sitting around being lazy, not doing anything, then how can you expect something good when you being a loser? Remember, this list is just as a guide. Make your own list. Know what you're looking for, know what you want, but I don't want you to end up being one of those people who just say, oh, I don't know what I'm looking for in a person, but I know what it is when I see it. No. Know now, know ahead of time, and use that because it'll be beneficial to you in the long run. It worked for me. I can definitely say I've been married now for almost 12 years. I've been happily married. I'm married to a beautiful woman. She's not only lived up to this list, she has superseded this list and superseded my expectations. And hopefully this can be a idea for you. Don't look exactly for what I was looking for because everybody's different. As always, hopefully this video has been beneficial to you. Until I see you guys next time, peace.